Welcome back to Joe and Di's allotment channel. I'm Joe, Di's behind the camera.
Right.
If you joined us last week, what we've done was cleared out all the tomatoes from this side. There's a few peppers left, which I've also cleared out now. What I'm going to do this week is take out the rest of the tomatoes. There's only a few, most of them are turning red now, so the other ones that are still green, we can keep in the kitchen, on top of the kitchen cabinets, and they'll turn red slowly. I'm going to take out the rest of these peppers as well. What I'm going to do is pot up a couple of them now and see if we can keep them going. We're still getting I like this one actually. These long peppers are really delicious. So I might keep this one and this end one in pots. This one's a bell pepper. So we try and keep those growing through the autumn and winter by leaving them in the greenhouse, moving them indoors later. See if we can still keep them cropping till next year. What I'm going to do is plant some other stuff into here today as well. Lettuces and salad onions and rocket as well. I've also just received a supply of Karma onion sets, which are for autumn planting. But yeah, they're a sort of a white one with sort of crimson rings, so a really delicious onion. You can use them in salads or for cooking. But what I do is I like to plant them successionally. So what I do is I put some into pots this week, maybe a third of them, a third the week after, and then a third the week after that. So they're growing at different stages, so we don't have to crop them all in one go. So maybe one or week or 10 days later from each other, and then put them out into the plot later in sort of October when they're established. Quite nice looking sets actually. Yeah, so that's a job for this week as well. The first thing I'm going to do is clear this out, and we've also still got harvesting to do down the allotment. We've got tomatoes still to harvest. I think the greenhouse at the allotment, they were in a bit later, so I'll be pulling those out in maybe the next fortnight or so, clearing that out as well. And the ones outside, I generally leave them on the vine until late as possible. So when the cold weather starts sort of coming in, I'll then strip them all basically. But yeah, we'll leave those as long as possible unless I need the beds, and then I'll take them out. But yeah, still got harvesting. We'll probably start cropping some of our main crop potatoes this week as well. So we'll dig out some of those this week. So the first job will be to clear out some of these tomatoes. That's the last of the tomatoes out. Remarkable, their roots don't really go that deep really. It's amazing. They put a lot of growth on upwards, but the roots aren't that far. So yeah, so all that can go in the compost now. I've got 1.5 of green, a nice long pepper, and reds. So that's all out now. So what I'll do next, I'll dump all that in the compost bin, and I'll take out peppers as well and repot 2 of them I think, and then take the rest out so the whole section's clear, then ready for planting again. Get as much of the roots out with the pepper as possible. It's got more extensive roots than the tomatoes really. I'll keep the stick there as well. Try and get that to there. So I'll keep that give that a good watering, and I'll keep it in a shaded area to start with until the roots sort of resettle themselves. Then I'll bring it back into the greenhouse after. That's one. Oops. Put the saw back in again. nice firming down. We'll give that a watering. And this one's got quite a lot of flowers on it. I'm hoping it'll carry on fruiting for a while yet. There's some little ones coming through there, some little tiny ones as well there. So hopefully this one will keep fruiting for quite some time. So what I'll do is I'll keep them in the greenhouse, and then when it gets a bit colder, I'll bring them indoors, I think, and see if we can keep them going through the winter. So the first thing I'm going to put in this emptied bed is some salad onions, some white Lisbon salad onions. Yeah, so these should be sort of, they'll grow through the winter, they're quite hardy, and they should be ready for sort of pulling in sort of January, February, hopefully. So yeah, we keep them in bunches, so they'll be ready in a whole bunch can come out in one go then. So yeah, I'll put them to sow about sort of 6 to 8 inches apart, and hopefully, as I said, they should be ready in sort of January, February. Put these in, we'll give them a good watering as well after we've sown. Put them back into soil, so they should get away quite well in here, and they should grow quite well in slightly warmer conditions of a cold greenhouse. Oh, look at those roots. Those are the last of the spring onions going in. So ease them in gently and give them a good firming in. Like to be in nice firm soil, so they should grow away quite well. Give them a good watering. And that's it. We've sort of got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 or 13 bunches there. So they should give us a nice little crop. So the next thing I'm going to put in here is some little gem lettuces and Lolo Rosso lettuces. So that's a little gem one. This is where the peppers were, so put that one in first. Give these a good watering. They should get away quite well. Keep us in salad leaves for a bit longer. So completely cleared it now. Put some lettuces in here. We've got the little gems and some other lettuces here as well. So we've now filled up the greenhouse. Firstly, we've got spring onions, we've got flat leaf parsley, coriander, chard, spinach, and 2 types of real spinach as well. And I'm going to complete it by putting some rocket into this little area here. So that'll go about 1/2 inch deep. This is a variety called Napoli. Go about 1/2 inch deep, and it should be germinating in sort of 7 to 10 days, and should start giving us leaves in sort of 4 to 6 weeks. But it's very winter hardy, so it will grow all the way through the winter hopefully, and give us a nice peppery addition to salads right through the winter. Quite a tiny little seed. I'll just sprinkle it into these little areas here, and hopefully they'll get away quite well. Give them a good watering in a minute. Give them everything a watering in a minute. That's it. Goes over gently. That's it. What I'm going to do, we've actually did a bit of harvesting while we was down there. We didn't do a lot of stuff. I think we picked 1.5 kilograms of tomatoes again. So, and also picked the last of the Kohl Rabbi. Quite like these actually. Kohl Rabbi is, I think it's German for turnip cabbage. It's a member of the Brassica family. I quite like them raw. We like them raw, grated in salads. You can also stir fry. You can roast them. They're really good actually. Quite enjoy them. They sort of got they don't really taste like cabbage or turnips. So I'm not quite sure why it's turnip cabbage, but it's quite a distinctive flavour. So what I'm going to do today is put some Karma sets into some modules, just to start them off so they can get rooted and start growing before I plant them out into a plot in October. Gives them an early start, and then the ones that are left over I'll put in directly, so you get sort of 2 crops rather than all in one go. Yeah, they're a good autumn sown variety, and they should be sort of ready to crop sort of June, July. So they'll give us some onions quite early in the summer next year. So I've sort of filled the modules with some potting compost and our own compost, sort of mixed together. Yeah, sort of mix the two together, just to stretch it out a bit, and use some of our own compost as well. So it's just a matter of rooty end down and pushing them in. So I might put 2 into these big modules. Just firm them around a bit, give them a good watering, and they should get away quite well. So we've more or less picked out all the smaller sets, left the bigger ones for planting directly in October. So what we've got, keep them somewhere cool, not too bright, and they'll be okay till October. And these ones should get away, so we'll get a hopefully advanced crop. Just get a bit of water. Just watering the stuff underneath as well, that's good. Yeah. I was saying that, these ones are a bit bigger. These ones are a bit larger, not too bad. That's a bit better. So if the rest of them carry on like that, I'll be happy. So we'll just harvest them as we go really. We don't tend to pull up the whole lot in one go yet. We'll harvest a few every week, and then if it starts getting frosty, we'll dig up the rest and then dry off the skins and put them into storage for the winter. So week 3 of September, and we're still getting some decent courgettes as well, so that's pretty good. I didn't expect to get many more, but I think the recent rain has helped. They seem to have come back to life again. Oh, and a marrow as well. That's not bad. So we've still got some apples to crop. I think these are the Cox variety, and they're eating apple. The longer you leave them on the tree, the sweeter they get actually. So we tend to leave some on the tree. We've picked most of them already, but we tend to leave a few. So we'll just take some home, just for this week. I think we'll leave some on the tree again. They'll be alright on the tree all the way through to the end of October really. So just harvested a nice punnet, I call it, I don't know, it's a box, is it, of fresh beans. And I'm going to just pull up some more beetroot. Yeah, nice. That should keep us going for a few days. So we've got some lovely spinach here perpetual spinach to still harvest. Rocket's looking good. Winter radish there. And we've still got a bunch of parsley and coriander over there, which is still usable. We actually picked most of the tomatoes the other day. So what I'm going to do now is pull up some cow as well. Take some cow home as well. Got a nice bit of rocket in here as well already. Yeah, so that's done really well. The cow's growing really well in here. We had it under protection from the birds, and that helps, I think. But, take a nice bunch home because I'll might make a nice stew tonight. So the grapes are ready for harvesting now. Not a bad size. They're bigger than the ones we've got down at home on the vine at home. They're quite sweet as well. I like eating them, but Di doesn't. I could quite easily eat them. They're a bit seedy though. A nice flavour though. But what we do is we pick some. We have made wine in the past, but we don't tend to make wine anymore. And we have tried vinegar before. But what we do now is we squeeze the juice out of them and bottle it and take the container full home today. So we picked a whole container. So yeah, that's quite a good crop this year. They're quite a decent size. So we'll get quite a bit of juice and some eating out of that as well. I'll eat them anyway. One of us. Yeah, so that's the end of week 3. The weather is now the sun's come out now, but it was a bit chilly this morning, so the weather is starting to turn now. But we are getting some showers as well, which is nice. Softening up the ground a bit, so it'll make it easier to dig it over now and get it ready for some more crops to go in, or settle it down for the winter and cover it with compost and let the compost go into the ground on its own merit, so it'll die over the winter and the worms drag it into the soil as well for us. So next week try and clear some more beds, plant some more stuff out. So that's it for this week. We've done some sowing in the greenhouse, so the greenhouse at home is now fully full. We sowed some rocket earlier in the week, and it's actually, I've noticed this morning, it's already germinated, so yeah, that'll be full up and that'll give us lots of winter salad over the autumn and winter. So yeah, so we've got to process these, and let's hope this weather continues for a bit longer with the sun shining. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it and found it informative. Give us a thumbs up, or still like reading all your comments and suggestions, so keep those coming. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, please use the button at the bottom and follow our journey into week 4 of September next week. Thank you for watching.